Welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Sarah Bernard, and still with me in the studio is Erin Joy, the Principal and CEO of Black Dress Partners. So with this week being the Small Business Week, we have the perfect guest to talk to us about starting your small business. And we've talked a little bit about your company and what services you bring as a consultant. We've talked about how we look for strengths within ourselves to decide on what business to start. So let's assume we're off and running. But we need help. So where do we turn for resources that are available to us here in St. Louis?
Oh, that's such a good question. And there are two organizations whose names are thrown around quite a bit that you might not think would really provide as much value as they do. And the first is the U.S. Small Business Administration. That's also known as SBA. Okay. So you can find them at sba.gov. There are tons of resources on their site. And that's the division, if you will, of our government that really funds and assists small businesses who have viable business plans. And they'll help you develop the viable business plan, but they fund companies to get started, and they make loans. So the SBA is one local, well, national resource.
Do they have an office?
They have an office right here in St. Louis. Now, their foot soldiers out in the St. Louis metropolitan area are through an organization called SCORE. And I think, again, if you're thinking about starting a business, SBA and SCORE are two names that you're going to hear a lot about and that you might kind of write off. I wrote off SCORE for a long time because their name.
Tell us, what is it? It's an acronym for?
It is for the Service Corps of Retired Executives. And it was that retired executives that made me think, these guys can't help me.
But you know what? It sounds kind of powerful. I mean,
very powerful.
They've been around. They've been in business for a long time, and they might have something to add. And obviously, these people must want to help, or they'd be doing something else in their retirement, right?
That's right, that's right. And SCORE, right here in St. Louis, has a couple of physical offices that you can just walk in. And an advisor will be sitting right there behind the desk. And you can say, these are my strengths. This is my business concept. I'm officing out of my kitchen, or out of my car and working from Starbucks from time to time. What do I do from here? And these guys and gals with SCORE have all the tips and tricks up their sleeves and know of all the resources in town. They're a great, great option. So no cost.
That's amazing. So SBA, you can get advice, you can get loans to fund your startup. And SCORE, you can get lots of advice. And resources. And what else is out there? The St. Louis Public Library, do they have resources available to
oddly enough, they do. Today's librarians are unbelievable. They're known as media specialists, and they can assist with a variety of research. One of the things that we have to do as business owners in starting a new business, starting a company, is to do a significant amount of research during that period to determine that we're going in the right direction. That might not be your strength. So going to the library and working with the media specialists, they used to be called librarians, is a great free resource and option. It really is.
And who would know that they're there to help us with researching our business?
And they have access to a variety of databases that can help you put together exactly who you might call on for that business.
Right, that's amazing. And we only have another minute or so, so what are some other quick resources that you can think of, or ideas that you might have for a new business owner?
Well, I really love the Small Business Monthly. It's a local print publication. You can find it on the stands where you might find some of the other free magazines and newspapers and things of that nature. But they have quite a few events that they host each year. The Small Business Monthly Expo, and they do that twice a year. There's no cost to attend. They put on a variety of workshops during that expo with very solid presenters talking about marketing and what do I do with Facebook marketing and how do I develop an elevator speech, my elevator pitch. Those are all things that you hear about that, quite frankly, you really maybe, I don't want to say can't do those on your own, but perhaps shouldn't be doing that stuff on your own.
So just to quickly recap, we've got the SBA, we've got SCORE, we've got your local library, and we have Small Business Monthly, all great resources right here in St. Louis for the new or even advanced small business owners. So we so appreciate, Erin, you taking the time to come and share all of this with us.
Thank you.
hopefully we'll get some new startups learning just from the tips they've seen today.
Yeah, I hope so.
We hope you'll come back and help us in the next stage of development. Thanks. We need to take a break, but remember to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis. Friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you can always watch us streaming live on stltv.net. Stay tuned to STL TV.